Carrie with Canary Quilts, and we are on block number 7 of the 2022 Designer Mystery Block of the Month. Here is the finishing kit. Does not show you what each of the blocks are. They will get revealed each month, but that's what it's going to be designed like in the end. We are through block number 7, which is right here. These are in no particular order at all. It's just that I put block number 7 right here so you could see it. It's right in the middle. And this is what it looks like on the pattern. It is designed by Barbara Groves this month. And I needed to do this today. I was not feeling very accomplished. I've been doing a lot of tedious things like binding and quilting. All the quilts I did this year, almost all the quilts I did this year, gets very tedious, and I just really wanted to do something fun and comforting, and that's what this block was to me. Usually I open this package each month with my what's in the box videos, but I was like, I need to do this. I need to do it now. I need to feel good about myself, so I opened it and I put it together, and I do feel good about myself after doing this. I love the colors. The pattern's not too hard. It's really pretty. It looks complicated, but it's really not at all. So we put this together today, and we will feel good about ourselves in the end, and I do. So I am going to walk you through how much fabric I have left after all the cuts, my half square triangles, and my flying geese. Show you a little trick I do. I don't know if you do the same trick of trying to get your points really nice on your flying geese. And then we put it all together and it turns out really gorgeous. Today I am actually working on this too. It's not going to be in this video in particular, but I'm working on these log cabin blocks down there. So I will have a separate video out for that. But if you're new here and you want to see how this turns out in the end, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. I do have the fabrics linked down below. They're Nantucket Summer is the name of the fabric line by Motive Fabrics, and you can get the fabrics, and there are other patterns you can do with this fabric that is really pretty. I do have a giveaway that's ending tomorrow that has these fabrics in it, so if you're interested you can head over to that video. I'll link it down below to see how to enter. Actually, I'll put the link to enter down below in this video also, just to make it easy for you. So there you go, a giveaway in this video too. Anyway, let's get started working on this. It's gonna be so much fun, and it is, because I've already done it. Right, let's get started on Designer Mystery Block of the Month, Block 7, called Driftwood it was designed by Barbara Groves from meandmysistersdesigns.com. So, I'm looking forward to doing this. Do you ever have days where you need to just feel like you've accomplished something? This is going to be it for me. I have just not been feeling good about myself today, so I'm going to do this, and it's going to make me feel so much better. It looks complicated, but it's not. You've got half square triangles right here in the corners, a patch, and flying geese right here in the middle. And then the rest of these are just patches that we're going to put together. So it's going to be a lot of fun to put together. It's very familiar, and the colors are very comforting. So it's going to be a lot of fun to work on this and get it done today. So this is a 4-color block, and we got quite a bit of background left. I've got everything cut. This is folded in half. This is the blue that's left, and then the light blue and the green. So quite a bit of fabric left over. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this in the end, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty. And then here's all my cuts. A, B, and C are my backgrounds, and I make sure that my right sides are up when I stack these, so that when I grab them I know what is the right side, because it's very hard to see which side's the right side for this. So that's how I do it. So A, B, and C are background. D and E are the dark blues. H is the green strips right here. F is the center patch. And G are these half square triangles right here on the corners. So to get started with, you need to take your A, let's see, and your E. It's hard to see the E, but I have marked the diagonal on my E, and on your A, mark the diagonal. So you're ready to go. You can just grab them and start making. So first thing we're going to start doing is making these half square triangles. So we need A and D, and we're going to need, oops, A, D, and we're going to need G in the next step. So I'm just going to do them all at the same time. So I'm going to set these fabrics aside. I'm going to move these fabrics out of the way. I've got these because we will need to trim our half square triangles, and we'll need to trim our flying geese. So that's why I have this out here. And so let's get started. So A's are going to get, all our A's are going to go with the light and dark blues, one of each. So you can take, and since I know this is right side up, I can just take my A or my G, and I'll just pin it together that way. Let's do it like this. When I turn it over, I already have my line ready to go. So I've got all of these set up, so we will just get them pinned. Okay, I got all my A, D's, and G's put together, where my D, and G's are with my A's. So what I want to do with all of these is sew a 1/4 of an inch seam on both sides of this line that we drew, this diagonal line. So I'm going to get that done. I'll come back here and we can get them cut up. Okay, I chain pieced mine together, so I need to get them separated and we'll get them cut. So we're going to cut right on that drawn line from corner to corner. And, oh, you can't see, it's probably hard to see my seam. But those are the light blue ones. There's the dark blue one, you can see it there. So I have a seam on both sides of the line, not either, but both. My mom corrects me on that one. I tend to say that a lot, so. Then what we're going to do, once we have these cut, we'll have our half square triangles and blocks, and we are going to iron towards the dark side. So there you go. Let's get these ironed up and bring them back. All right, here's all my half square triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dark blue and 4 light blues. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to trim them up to the size indicated in the pattern, and by doing that we'll get all these tails off. So I'll get that done and we'll come back and we will be putting together our corners, it looks like. So, yay! Okay, I've trimmed up my half square triangle blocks here. Now I'm going to grab my C patch and we are going to lay out a corner. So we want to put our fabric C here. Then we want a dark blue half square triangle, and we want these pointing towards each other like that. And then we want our light blue pointing away. And that's how we're going to build this block. So I'm literally just going to stack 4 of these up and build them at the same time. So they're all going in the same place. We're going to need 4, and that's what we've got. We've got 4 of each of these here. So we're going to do it this way. I'm going to chain piece these 4 together. And I'm going to chain piece these 4 together. And then we are going to be ironing, always ironing towards the dark blue. So this way and this way. Very easy to remember when you take it over to your iron, just always iron towards the navy. So that's how I'm sewing these up. I'm going to chain piece these and I'm going to get them done and I'll meet you back here. Got all my pieces sewn and ironed towards the navy blue side. So it's going to go just like that. Now all we have to do is put the two sides together, and because it's ironed towards the navy blue, those will nest. I love nesting seams. It just feels so good when those seams pop in and match each other. So we are going to put all these together, and then we are ironing towards the side with the solid white patch. That's how we're going to iron. If you want to remember it like that, iron away from the light blue towards the solid white patch. Okay, and then we will have these corners done. All right, there's my 4 corners ironed towards the white patch, the side with the white patch. So I'm going to set those aside. Next we're doing our flying geese. So we're going to need B and E. And I have already marked the diagonal on the back. It's in red, it's hard to see. But we are going to grab a B, take our E, put right sides together on the left here. So our diagonal goes from the top middle to the bottom right, or bottom left, sorry. Top, middle, bottom, left. And I'm going to do all 4 of mine at the same time. And then we'll come back, we'll trim it up, and we'll iron it. Okay, I've got my half of my 4 flying geese done. Here's my seam. I sewed on the line. I'm just going to line up my 1/4 inch mark on my seam, trim it up, and then we will iron towards the blue corner. We'll be halfway done with our flying geese. All right, here's the first half of our flying goose. Now we will take the next E square and we are going to line up that diagonal. We're going to put it on the right sides together on the right hand side. Line up the diagonal so it goes from the top middle to the bottom right. And then we will sew on the diagonal again. On that line, come back, trim 1/4 inch away from it, and iron towards the blue. And we'll have a flying goose. We'll have 4 of them, in fact. I guess that makes them flying geese, since we'll have 4 of them instead of 1. Right here are my 4 flying geese, ready to go. So now we're ready to start assembling the block. So you need to grab your F and your H's, and it's going to go together as rows like 99% of blocks do, which is fine with me. So let's put our center block in, and we are going to take our, what was this, F, our H, and we're going to put it all the way around our center block here. And then on top of H goes our flying goose with the white pointing towards the center. So there's that, and then here's our corners. And these are going to go in so that the light blue is pointing towards the center. And that's how our block is going to look. So, first thing we got to do is put these together. So, we are going to put these together. I'm going to put them all together at the same time. And then, once we get it sewn, we are ironing towards the green patch. So, make sure that all your white points are pointing towards the center. Get them lined up, get them pinned, get them sewn, and iron towards that green patch. Does anybody else do this? When I sew my like flying geese, or I have a point I'm going to be sewing over, I sew so that it goes through my machine and I can see this side of my point to make sure my needle's going to fall in the right spot so I'm not too far above the point or cutting off that point. So that's how I do my flying geese when I put them through my machine. So I've ironed towards the green and you can see my points turned out really nice. So I'm just going to put these back into place. And we can start putting these together by rows. So we're going to add this to this. And seams nest. Look at that. Those seams in the center nest right up. So do that. There's no seams to nest here. We'll just match these edges up and sew these and nest these down here. Nesting seams. Oh, love it. Okay, get these sewn, and we are going to be ironing towards the flying goose patch in all of these rows. So just remember, when you take it to your iron, you're going to iron towards the flying goose unit here. Okay, these are done. They're sewn towards the flying goose unit, and we are just going to add the final section to the row. Nest the seams. Again, I love those nesting seams. Nothing but fabric to match here. That's easy enough. And then nest the seams down here. And then again, iron towards the flying goose unit on all rows. Okay, nothing left to do but put the rows together. And again, because of the way we ironed, we're going to have nesting seams right here, and it looks like we're going to have them right here too. Feel good, nesting seams. So both rows will go onto the center, both the top and bottom row will go onto the center row exactly the same way. Nest those seams, sew it up, and we are going to be ironing towards the center row. So I'm going to get both these rows put on, iron towards the center row, this row right here, and our block is done. So I'll meet you back here when it's done. It looks just like the block on the front. That was fun. I needed that. I needed something familiar, something pretty, and something not too hard to help me feel accomplished today. And this really worked. It's so, so pretty, and I feel so good about it. So I hope you do too when you make this. It's really not that hard. It's a lot of fun to make, and it's really pretty. I love the colors. But anyway, let me know how it's going for you down below. Are you putting the whole thing together as we go, or are you saving all your blocks? Because I haven't done the log cabin blocks yet. I need to do those. Hopefully real soon I'll be doing those too. I really want to. This is so much fun to work on. But anyway, thank you so much for coming along with me and making this block. I really needed to make it today, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and I had a lot of fun making this video. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, check out the links below. They really do help the channel out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!